Hello everyone, welcome back to today's operating system lecture. In this session, we are going to understand user mode in operating system. Okay, so what is user mode? In an operating system, user mode is the mode in which normal applications and programs run. When you open Chrome, MS Word, a game, or any normal app, it runs in user mode. Okay, in this mode the program has restricted access. It cannot directly interact with hardware or access critical memory areas. For any such request, it must ask the operating system through system calls. See, so let's start with the basic definition. User mode is the mode in which all normal applications and programs run. Okay, so whenever you open Chrome, Microsoft Word, a game, or any app on your computer, it is running in user mode. Okay, so in this mode the program has restricted access. Okay, it cannot directly talk to the hardware or touch critical areas of memory. Okay, so if it needs to do something special like reading a file or printing a document, it has to ask the operating system through a system call. Okay, why do we need user mode? The main reason is safety and protection. If every program had direct hardware access, one faulty program could crash the entire system. By keeping programs in user mode, the OS ensures that user applications run safely and cannot damage critical resources. See, why do we need user mode? Now you may wonder, like, why do we even need this user mode? Okay, the answer is safety and protection. Okay, imagine if every program could directly control your CPU, disk, or memory. One small bug or one faulty error based program could trash the entire system. Okay, so that's why the operating system keeps application in user mode. This way they run safely and cannot damage critical resources. Okay, third is characteristics of user mode. Limited access to hardware and memory, applications cannot directly execute privileged instructions like I/O operations. Programs must switch to kernel mode to perform sensitive tasks via system calls. Errors in user mobile application do not crash the OS, only that application fails. See, so programs have limited access to hardware and memory. They cannot directly execute privileged instructions like I/O operations. So whenever they need special access, they must switch to kernel mode using system calls. Okay, if like an error occurs in user mode, then the only that program crashes. The entire operating system remains safe. Okay, real life analogy. Think of user mode like a guest area in a hotel. Guests can stay, enjoy, and use allow facilities, but they cannot enter the kitchen, staff rooms, or control the security system. For that, they need permission from hotel staff. Similarly, in user mode, applications can do normal tasks, but for privileged operations, they must request the operating system. Okay, see. Uh, think of a hotel. So in hotel, guests are allowed to stay in the guest area. Okay, and enjoy the facilities and use the services. Okay, but guest cannot go inside the kitchen, the staff rooms, or control the security system, cause if they want something special like food, they must request the hotel staff. Okay, request the hotel staff. Okay, similarly in user mode, applications can do normal work. Okay, but for privilege operations they must request the operating system. Okay, now see example. See, suppose a program wants to read data from a file. So in user mode, the program cannot directly access the disk. So it makes a system call like read. Okay, and the operating system which runs in kernel mode reads the file and sends the data back to the program. Okay, so basically this way security and stability are always like maintained. Okay. Key differences: user mode versus kernel mode. User mode runs application restricted access, same environment. Kernel mode runs the OS, full access to hardware, executes privileged instructions. See, first one is user mode. Runs applications, has restricted access and provides a safe environment. Then kernel mode runs the operating system, has full access to hardware and executes privileged instruction. So like both modes are necessary for the smooth functioning of an operating system. Okay, so basically user mode is the restricted execution mode where user applications run safely. Okay, so it prevents direct access to hardware to ensure system stability and uses system calls to communicate with the operating system. Okay, so that's all for today's explanation of user mode in operating system. Okay, thank you.